So the first thing I would like us to do is please close your eyes. I want to start by telling you a little imaginary story. Okay? So can we please all close our eyes? Now, imagine with me that for the last 1 million lives, not 1 million years, but 1 million lifetimes, every lifetime that we were born, we had a killer disease. Every life that we were born, we have this disease. Every life. And it is so horrible. Every life we are in pain. Every life we have to take medicine many times a day. We have to take our medicine at least 3 times a day, every day. There's 2 types of medicine we have to take. There's 3 types of medicine we have to take. 1 type we have to take every day, sometimes 3 times a day. Another type we have to take at least once every 7 days. But there's even 1 more type, that if we don't take it every 30 seconds, we die. We have all these diseases that kill us every life. Every life we see our son die, our daughter die, our mother die, our father die, our boyfriend die, our sister die, our cat die. Everyone that you see dies from this horrible disease, and our life is filled with suffering. We cry every life. We have nightmares every life, and our life is filled with pain and suffering. Now imagine that there was somebody on this earth with us, one of our fellow humans that has the same disease as us. Each day that we live, we try to ignore the disease. We try to forget about the disease. We try to do fun things and enjoy life and try to avoid the disease. But when the disease happens, we all cry, we all scream, and we all die. But there is one guy who he spent all the 1 million lifetimes, every lifetime, he dedicated himself not for pleasure, not for fun. He spent all 1 million lifetimes looking for a cure to this disease. He searched everything. He tried every medicine. He tried every single trick. He tried every single magic. He did everything to try to fix this disease. And then one day, he found it. He found the cure. And he told us the cure. Now, finally, we have a chance to be free from this disease. My question to you is, how thankful would you be to the man who saved the life of your son, saved the life of your daughter, saved the life of your husband or your wife, saved the life of your parents? How thankful would you be? You can open your eyes now. And that is why we are here today, to celebrate the Vesak. What is the Vesak? The Vesak is the day that 3 things happened on the same day in history. Number 1, it was the day that our Buddha, the man who found the cure for the disease, was born into the world. But back then, he wasn't the Buddha yet. He was just Prince Siddhartha, the future Buddha. On this same day was the day that he became enlightened, was the day that he was born as a human, and the day that he was born as a Buddha. Then on the same day, it was the day that he reached Parinibbana, which means the last day of his life, or the day that he died. So now, that's what we're doing here today. We're not here just to celebrate a festival, or eat food, or come listen to a Hante from San Francisco tell you a story. We're here to remember the person who dedicated his entire, not life, but his entire existence to finding a cure for this disease. Does anyone know what the 3 diseases that I told you that we all have is? One disease, you have to eat the medicine at least once every 7 days. One disease, you have to eat the medicine at least one every 3 days. One disease, we have to eat the medicine every 30 seconds. Does anyone know what the disease is? The first disease that we suffer from is hunger. If we don't eat food on a regular basis, we die. Some humans can go without food for 3 days, 4 days, but probably not more for 7. And every single living creature on the whole earth, in all of history, has this disease. We have to eat. If we can't eat, we die. What's the second disease? We have to drink water. If we don't drink water at least so and so often, once again, we die. But the scariest disease of all, do you know what that disease is? We have to breathe at least once every 30 seconds, if not more. Think about this. We are born so fragile that even a little bite could make it hurt. If I were to go up to you and pull out one hair, you would say, ow. If I was to kick you in the foot, you would say, ow. If I was to punch you in the stomach, you might even cry and say, that hurts so much. Our body is subject to so much easy pain. It comes so easy. Our life can disappear like that. One accident, one disease, one car accident, and you're gone. And think about how much pain we feel when someone we love is gone. Don't even think about death yet. Just think about how much we cry when we lose like our girlfriend or boyfriend. They have to go somewhere else, or they break up with us. How much does that hurt? It hurts so much. What about when someone gets sick and you find out they have cancer? You find out they have diabetes, hepatitis, HIV, any major disease. How do you feel? It breaks your heart. The thing is, we spend every day of our lives ignoring our sickness. Do you ever talk about the sickness of health? Do you ever talk about the sickness of breathing? Do you ever talk about the sickness of drinking? We never talk about it. We talk about, did you see the basketball game? Do you like my new shirt? Look at my new iPhone. Have you seen this YouTube video? That's all we care about is pleasure. But the pleasure is not always there. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning and you did not get enough sleep? You're sleepy, you're tired. How do you feel right now, sitting on the floor for so long and your body's tired? How do you feel if you listen to a boring Pante speak in a language you might not understand, telling you a story you don't care about, but probably another half an hour at least? How do you feel? Probably not so good. These are all things that humans and life forms have to deal with. It's the natural part of life. But none of us try to find a way out. We all have the disease, and we just live with it. We live with it for so long, we don't even care anymore. We only care one time, when we're gonna die. When you know you're gonna die, you start to care. That's why all the people say, I say to them, if you want to have a very good temple, what do you need to have? You need to have at least one Pante from the group in here. Someone in here has to ordain and be the Pante sitting here permanently for this temple to improve and become really good. But you know what everyone tells me? Next life. I will become the Pante next life. Or wait till I'm older. I'm looking right now, I see people who are maybe 20s to 30s, some that's 40 to 50, some that's 50 to 60, maybe some that's 60 to 70. But if I ask any one of you, do you want to become a Pante and maybe find the medicine for life? Everybody will say, not yet, Pante. Not yet. And that is why we appreciate the Buddha so much. Because when asked for this thing, he did not say, not yet. No one even asked him, He realized it on his own that, hey, I have to do this. I want to do this. And I will do this. He spent, a million lifetimes is not even enough. Like 1,000,000 times 1,000,000 to the 1,000,000 power. Like it's so big of a number, you don't even know how to write it down. Even a calculator would explode if you typed in the number. It's that big. And he spent all those lives trying to figure out the trick, the secret of how to fix life, how to lose the suffering, how to stop death. And he spent all those lives doing it. Somebody told him that if you want to achieve this goal, you have to fill up all your points. I'm going to compare this to a video game. I'm sure some of you have played video games before, right? In a video game, you need to level up, right? Because if you don't level up high enough, what happens? You have to fight the monster who's level 15, and you are level 2. What happens? The monster blows on you, and you explode, right? You can't even look at the monster. He'll kill you, right? So what do you have to do? You have to fight small monsters. You have to live and die and train, and live and die and train, and level up your points. Level up your strength, level up your speed, level up your vitality, level up your magic, level up your mana, and all your skills. In life, it's the same thing. We all have 10 skill categories. Have you ever heard of this? Did you know that you're already playing a video game right now? You are the main character in your video game, and you have 10 skills that you have to increase. Do you know what those skills are called? Can anyone guess what those skills are called? Huh? It's the paramita. You have the Thana paramita, the Sila paramita. Think about it. Your generosity, your restraint, your morality, your wisdom, right? Your renunciation skill, your effort, your endurance, your pain tolerance, your strength of your honesty and your word, your goal setting, your compassion. All of these things are skill points. And there's 3 levels to each one. The paramitas, you have 10 of them at the basic level. Then you have level 2. Level 2 is the upa paramita, which means the higher level paramitas. And those are so hard to do. The regular paramita, the rule is, if it's easy to do and you do it, you get just regular level. So you kill a white monster, a little monster, a fly, a bird, whatever, you get 1 point. It's good, but it takes you a long time to level up. But if you can go fight a blue monster, then suddenly it's magic monster and you get more points. Same thing. The upa paramita is the paramita that is hard to do. Very hard to do. For example, sitting here on the floor, your legs are tired, your hips are tired, your knees are tired. But you tell yourself, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit here, I'm not going to complain, I'm going to listen, and I'm going to learn. I don't care if my legs hurt. I'm going to learn something. You just got like 4 or 5 high paramita points. You're taking the endurance. You make a goal for yourself. You got atitana. You tell yourself, I'm going to do this, and I will not get up until it's time to get up. You got the strength of your words, satya. You have atitana, which is you make a plan. You have wisdom because you tell yourself, my legs hurt no matter what. No matter what I do, I'm going to be in pain. But I choose to listen just in case I learn something. Because if I learn something, my life might get better. So I choose to learn and suffer the pain. That's panya. You choose to not sit in a chair. You choose to not go lay down. That's renunciation. Nekama. You choose to give your time. You choose to give your hearing and your listening and your concentration. That's dana. You're already leveling up your skills every day. But then you have skill level 3, which is the highest level. It's called the paramita, barami. And this one is the level that's called the God level. Something that no human being can do, but if you can do it, you get the paramita level, the paramita parami level. Such as what? Well, look at what the Bodhisattva did. He gave away his children to a bad guy. He did not talk or act anything for 16 years so that he didn't have to become the king. He swam in the ocean for 7 days and 7 nights and didn't give up to try to get to safety and survive. He did all these things to upgrade to the highest level of paramita. Could you give your life for someone? Could you give away all your belongings and become a pante and live a life of not happiness and pleasure, but suffering and striving and trying? Could you do it? Probably not. But there was one person who did it at the highest level, and that was the Buddha. So for all those lives, those million times million lives, every life that he was born, he leveled up. He was a cow, he was a donkey, he was a wolf, he was a cat, he was a dog, he was a king, he was a warrior horse, he was a gorilla, he was a big butterfly. He was always all these different animals and humans and black man, white man, Asian man, Japanese, Korean. He was everything. And in every life, life challenged him. You know, pretty girls, music, parties, drugs, alcohol, violence, murder, envy, jealousy. Life challenged him every life. You had death, you had murder, had all this stuff. It challenged him. And every life, he fought it. He kept playing the game at the highest level. Just like games nowadays, he would be considered the number one streamer in history. He's the streamer who played, and everybody wants to watch him because he plays perfectly. You see those Mario Brother games, the Super Mario Kart, the Counter-Strike, the League of Legends, where you play a perfect game. You kill all the enemies, and you don't lose any points. No one can do that, except if you train that long. And that's what the Buddha did. And that's why we thank him, because he basically gave us the cheat codes. Okay, guys, look, I have made all the mistakes in the world. I've done every mistake. Every hell, I've been there. Every heaven, I went there. Every nationality, I've been that. Every size, every disease, I had it all. Every place in this world that you can think of, I was born there 1,000 times. I've done everything. I've searched everything. And I know everything now. And now I'm telling you that if you don't want to go do all the stupid things that I did and make all the mistakes that I did, just listen to my shortcut. I will give you all the answers. If you don't want to be mad, look at yourself. Don't set conditions. If you don't want to have the suffering of death, find a way to not be born. If you don't like suffering, you have to give up the pleasure, because the suffering comes with the pleasure. If you want to change and have a better life, don't change other people. Change yourself. He gave us all the cheat codes on how to have a better life or how to become enlightened. Some people in the Buddha's day, they all wanted to become enlightened. They want to become Sotapanna, Sakaragami, Anagami, or Arahanta. And so many people did after listening to just one sermon from the Buddha. How did they do that? It's the same thing. Each person played the game many lives, but they kept making one mistake. For example, there's one boss that hits, I don't know if you guys ever played Mike Tyson Punch-Out. It was a game from when I was a kid, so that was like 30 years ago. And there was a guy who would do this big uppercut, 1, 2, 3. Right? And the trick is, when he goes this way, you have to dodge this way. When he goes this way, you have to dodge this way. But he always comes right up the middle and knocks you out. You can't dodge it, because his fist is like this big. You can't dodge it. And so you would play that level for like forever, and you would always lose. And then finally somebody says, oh, for that one, you're supposed to block. And you say, There's a block in this game? I didn't know you could block in this game. How do you block? Oh, you press left and right at the same time, and instead of moving, you put your hands together and you block. Oh my God. That's it. So suddenly, left, you dodge right. Left or right, you dodge left. Uppercut, you block, and then he gets stunned. Then you just go crazy on him, and then you win. I beat the game. I beat the game. Because somebody told me the secret that I was so stupid, I couldn't understand. I didn't know this was part of the game. I didn't know this was one of the rules. The same thing. There was one lady who was born so beautiful. Like, she had the most beautiful face and a hot body. But you know what the problem was? For some reason, she was born hunchback. Her back was like hunched over like this for her whole life. And so she had a very suffering life. So in India, they judge you on how you look. So if you look like that, well, you can't be the queen, you can't be a princess, you can't be rich, you have to be a servant. So this beautiful girl, hot body, everything, can't get a husband, has to be a servant. So she became the servant to a queen. And her only job was, go get flowers every day. Your job is to buy flowers and bring it to my palace and make me a lot of flowers and then throw the old flowers away and go buy new flowers. So one day, she went to the market to see the flower guy. And she says, hey, Mr. Flower Man, I'm here for my daily flowers. Give it to me. And the flower man says, I can't. I'm closed today. And she says, no, you cannot be closed. If I don't bring the flowers back, I'm going to get a spanking. Like, I'm going to get beaten. But back then, you don't say no to your queen. If you don't do it, they take a stick and they smack the hell out of you, right? So just, I can't go back without the flowers. You have to give me flowers. He says, I don't have any. She says, I see all the flowers. How can you say you have none? He says, you don't understand. I invited the Buddha to my house today to receive the Bintabata, and I'm going to listen to the Desana today. So I took all the flowers that I have and I made a shrine, I made a table, and I made a chair for the Buddha. So if you want more flowers, I don't have any. However, after the Buddha's Desana, I will go get more flowers in the back for you, but has to be after. And she says, oh man, this sucks. But, okay. I mean, if this is my only choice, I'll wait 3 hours extra rather than going home now and getting beat up. So she said, well, if you're going to wait, you might as well help me. So she helped, the Buddha came, they did the Bintabata, they gave him the food, and they listened to the sermon. And this is where the Buddha gave the cheat code. He just said, listen to this. Life is like a flower. Human life is like the life of a flower. A flower grows from a seed, becomes a small little plant, then becomes full bloom and is so beautiful. Then it shrivels. The head gets heavy and the neck drops. And eventually it dies and returns to the earth. Such is the life of a flower, just like the life of a human being. And that was it. She listened to that and became a Sotapanna. People who listen to this story say, what? It's that easy? I just look at a flower and I become a Sotapanna? It's like, no, it wasn't that easy. The reason is, she's just like me. She played the video game for so long and she got stuck at the door. Because think about it. Every day of her life, her job is to do what? Buy new beautiful flowers, come home, look at the ugly, disgusting flowers, and throw out the dead flowers. Then go buy new beautiful flowers and come home to the bad, ugly flowers, then go buy new beautiful flowers. So what did she see literally every day of her life, all day long? Life and death. Life and death. Life and death. But the one secret that she never did, not even one time, was what? she never looked at the mirror. She never looked at the flower, and instead of seeing a flower, you take a flower and you look at it, but instead of seeing the flower, you see yourself. She never compared herself to the flower. So when the Buddha says, life, human life, is like a flower, imagine this like a split screen, being very high-tech here, but like, imagine you have a monitor, right? Put the monitor in half and separate the screens. On this screen is an animation of a seed, right? On this screen is an animation of sperm and an egg. On this screen, whoop, on this screen, a baby. Whoop, whoop. This screen, 16, 17-year-old girl, perfect skin, tight skin, tight muscles, beautiful body, beautiful face, nice hair, perfect looking. 16. Then, same thing. Suddenly, it starts to get older. Same thing. Hits 30s, hits 40s, starts to get older. Then, gets sick and dies. Same thing. Gets to an older age, gets sick, and then die. And the thing was, when she was imagining this screen, she didn't imagine some other girl. Who did she put in there? Herself. She saw herself as a sperm and an egg. Then she saw herself as a little baby, little girl. Then she saw herself when she was younger, this beautiful, like I told you, beautiful girl, beautiful body. She remembered that. And then she remembers getting older and being hunchbacked and being weak and her body's broken. And all she has to do is compare. Well, what happens to the flower? It dies. Well, what's going to happen to me? I will die. And that is when she realized she couldn't deny the truth. And this is such a funny thing. I say this to you. Who here, raise your hand, who here is going to die? Raise your hand. Okay, now put your hand down. Now I'm going to ask you a different question. Who here believes that they will die? I don't believe you. Do you know why? Do you believe you will die in 2 hours? How about tomorrow? I'm not asking about never know. I'm asking about your belief. Have you planned for your death tomorrow?
No.
Next week?
No.
Next month?
No.
Next year?
No.
5 years?
No.
10 years?
No.
20?
No.
30?
No.
Have you planned for it yet? Have you planned for it yet?
Have you planned for it?
Have you done your wills? Have you gotten rid of all your secrets that you don't want anyone to know? Have you traveled to the Buddhist places you want to see? Have you ordained before you get old and you can't remember anything anymore? Have you given enough dana? Have you told people that you love them? Have you apologized to your enemies? Have you done all the things that you feel like you should do in life before you die? Have you? What are you waiting for? And the reason that you're still waiting is, for some weird reason, you don't think you're going to die. Every single human being on earth that has ever lived has already died or is dying right now. Yet, for some reason, you don't think you will die outside. You don't think you're going to die tomorrow. Do you know how many people in the whole world die every day? A lot. I don't have the number, but a lot. But you think that you're different. You think that it won't happen to you, right? Not only do you think that you won't die, did you come here with someone that you love? Did you come here and see your friends here? Do you think that they won't die either, right? That's why I say, Sonny, I'll see you next year. Andy, next week I call you, you send me the video that we took together, okay? I'll call you next week, we'll talk, and then a month later you email me back, and then we'll talk again in 2 months, 3 months, okay? And then I'll visit you again next year. I'll see you. Here, you take this, and then you give it back to me when I see you later. Isn't this how we always talk? See you later. I'll see you later. Oh, don't worry about it. Next time. How many people actually think that we will die at any time? This is what we call in Thai, we call it pramad, which is overconfidence. But there's another word for it. Stupidity. Isn't it? What do you call a kid who has homework due at 8 o'clock when they go to school? They get home today at 4 p.m. What do? Play games. 6 p.m. what do? YouTube. 7, eat food and play games and YouTube at the same time. 9 p.m., more games. 10 p.m., call a friend for like 2 hours. 11 p.m., too sleepy to do homework, go to bed. Wake up, too lazy, too tired, 7 o'clock. 7:30, time for school. Now what? Mommy, my homework's not done. I don't know what to do. My teacher's gonna get mad. Mommy, write me a note. Mommy, I'm sick. I'm sick. What's wrong? My foot hurts so much. That's your throat. My back. My back is so much pain, Mommy. I can't go to school. Okay, don't go to school. Okay, good. We play more games. Why do they do that? Like, why do children do that? It's not that they're lazy. They're not lazy. It's because they're denying the future. They don't think about the obvious, which is what's gonna happen. The teacher already told you, if you don't do this, this will happen. Mommy and Daddy already told you, if you don't do this, this will happen. So do we call those kids stupid? Yeah, they're pretty dumb. But here's the thing. What about us? We're very dumb too. How many people have a big, don't raise your hand, I don't want to know. But how many people have a big credit card debt? You have a big debt on your credit card, and it doesn't get smaller, it gets bigger. How many people go shopping for things that you don't need? How many shoes do you have? How many dress do you have? How many accessories do you have? How many do you actually need? Isn't that stupid? You have 2 feet but 400 shoes. You have 2 shoulders but like 50 purses, right? Is that smart or is that stupid? And that's the thing. How many people are overweight? You don't raise your hand. And don't point at anyone, okay? But we know that, look, this is bad for me. It's going to make my health worse and I will probably die faster. But we're still overweight. And it's getting worse. How many people still do stretching and exercise? The older we get, and I know it sounds funny, I'm only 37, but I already feel it. Get out of bed, what do? Oh. You sit down, oh. You have to get up, when you get up, what do? You have to get ready, right? I say, everyone get up. You go, okay. You have to get ready, right? Why? Because our bodies are too weak. How much yoga do you do? How much stretching do you do? How much exercise do you do? Nothing. So why do we complain when, oh, my back is so tight, I can't move, my legs, my knees are so weak, or we have to sit like this or sit meditation, I can't sit for more than 3 minutes, my knees hurt. Why? Because you never practice. And this is why, see, this is going to go all the way back to the beginning. And this is why we are here on the Vesak day. Because the Buddha, he did not ever live a life like us, stupid, for pleasure. Every life, he studied, he learned, he improved, he stretched, he exercised, he didn't go shopping, he didn't make a lot of debt, he didn't hurt himself, he didn't hurt other people. he had very unfun lives. His lives were not fun, so that he could learn the secret to life. And once he learned it, he taught it to us. And not only did he teach it to us, he spent his whole life living as an example. After he became the Buddha, how many side girls did he have? How many girlfriends did he have on the side? Like secret girlfriends that wasn't written down. How many? 0? People made him so many offerings and built him houses and kutis and temples. How many secret palaces did he have? All the kings from the world who knew him traveled to see him, bringing elephants and horses and deers and cattle and silks and music and instruments and beautiful girls. How many times did he say, you know what? I've been a good Buddha for 40 years, man. Give me 10 minutes of this beautiful girl and then good music. Just give me 10 minutes of a relax. I need to relax. How many times did he do that? 0. So his entire life, do you know what he did every day? I'm probably got the schedule a little bit wrong, but midnight to 3, sleep. 3 till 5, teach the devas. 5 till maybe 10 or 11. Or he would go for bintabata first, and then he would go and help somebody. He would send out his third eye and look to see who in this room is ready to learn. Then he would find some way to go see you and teach you and help you. Give you the secret code to your game. Then he would come back for bintabata. He would stay at the temple so the bhikkhus and the bhikkhunis could ask him questions, right? Then what he would do? Then he would meditate a little bit, and then midnight again. He'd rest for 3 hours. So this guy literally slept 3 hours a day and worked 24 hours a day, every day since he was a Buddha. And his behavior, and have you ever heard that people said, if you contemplate on the Buddha's behavior, you will have mankara, which means good luck. I mean, you guys said it, right? Handamayang buddha nusati nayang karo mase. What's the Indonesian translation for that? Let us all. Say the Indonesian one.
Oh, there's no Indonesian translation on that.
Do you know what it is? Let us all recite the qualities of the Buddha together. Because Buddha is Buddha, right? Nusati is to recollect. Let us recollect on the Buddha's qualities together. Let's have a challenge. Let's play a game right now, okay? Who can name a Buddha quality? They said if you know the secret code, you will have an easy game and good luck. Okay, let's play the game. Name one Buddha quality. Compassion, metta, too easy. You get half a point. That's too obvious. Give me another one. Huh? Karuna, that's part of metta. It's the same group. See? No, that's still half a point. It's the same group. Name one Buddha quality. Wisdom. You get 20 points for that. I'm serious. Because did you know that our Buddha, every Buddha has a specialty. You know, every Buddha has a special power. Some Buddhas are very, they get you with sattha, faith. Some Buddhas get you with wisdom. Our Buddha was the wisdom Buddha. You know how you could tell? Because he was born in a time when people were only 100 years. That's very short. So to become enlightened in 100 years, you gotta be smart. Basically, I tell you a lesson, you listen, you learn it, you get it. We don't have time to screw around. When the next Buddha, Arya Maitreya, comes, he's the, no, not compassion. He's the sattha. Comes from faith. People just see him and believe in him and follow him for 20,000 years and then become enlightened. In that time, I think the age limit is 40,000. So it's a very old age people. So they don't need to be quick. But our Buddha, he comes at the downside. Do you know, this is going to get really long today now.
Okay.
But do you know that do you have time?
Yes, but then we have time.
Okay, I have a plane at 6, so I have 4 hours, but we'll see. Did you know that the human life cycle changes? Did you ever hear about that? Humans have 2 types of life cycles. Life cycle increase and life cycle decrease. And the Buddha says every 100 years of human life, the life cycle will change by 1 year, up or down, depending on the cycle. So let's say that the human life cycle is 100 years right now, but it's not. Every 100 years that passes, the human life cycle will be 99. Another 100 years passes, 98. Another 100 years passes, 97, and keep going. The lowest threshold is 10 years old. And if you think about it, in the Buddha's age, which was around 2,600 years ago, exactly 2,558, 59 years ago, or maybe in 60, the age expectancy was 100. So let's say 2,600 years later, who can do the math? What should our age expectancy be right now? 74, 75. And doesn't that sound about right? In another 2,500 years, it's going to be 50. In another 2,005 years after that, it's going to be 25. And do you think it's impossible? Kids these days already know more about computers than you old people. They can already do things that you can't do. They can't drive, but they can already tell you the directions to where you need to go. They can already call an Uber, take themselves to somewhere, pay for it, and come back before you even wake up. They already have 6 boyfriends and you don't even know who they are. You see? So here's the thing. And nowadays, think about when you were younger. When you were a young girl or a young boy. Try wearing something that showed this much skin. What happens? Right? You walk in the village, you walk at the mall, and you show something that shows a lot of skin, show your arm. What happens? Your parents yell at you, but also the people who see you yell at you too. Nowadays, look at our young girls. 10 years old, 12-year-olds wearing leggings and tight clothes and wearing things that are loose. And instead of saying it's bad, we congratulate them on show your body, be proud of your body, you're so sexy. What's the world coming to? There's so much more drugs now, so much more violence, so much more, and the drugs is not just drugs anymore. Video games are drugs, music's a drug, shopping's a drug. There's so many of them nowadays. And not only are the kids playing games all day, don't even blame the kids. You play YouTube, Line, like chats all day. Everyone close your eyes for 1 second. I'm going to show you a game. Everyone close your eyes for 1 second, okay? Everyone raise your right hand to your shoulder like height. Any shoulder, and just in the air. When I count to 3, immediately, close your eyes. When I count to 3, immediately reach for your phone. Go. Go, reach for it. Who found it immediately?
Everybody.
Look at that. Even with your eyes closed, anywhere from 10 years old to 70. If I say, get your phone, got it. Get your phone, it's over here. Where's your phone? Oh, I put it over there. No? But then it's over here. How do you know that? Because you're addicted. If you're a smoker and I said, hey, where's your cigarettes? Oh, right here. Where's your cigarettes? No? Oh, my pocket. Where's your lighter? This side. You would know. Where's my crack pipe? Oh, I hide it in the book. Why? Because we're addicted. We're addicted to all these things. So, go back to the life cycle. Once the life cycle hits 10, that's the worst point of history of the humankind. That's the most evil, the most pollution, the most famine, the most overpopulation, the most over-sexualization. It's the worst humans can ever get. And human beings will destroy this earth. There's going to be acid rain, floods of death, famine, and diseases, and 99% of people will die from the earth. Then the Buddha said there's going to be a small group of devas, like holy people who are reborn on earth at that time, and they're going to go hide in the mountains for like many years. And then once all the people on earth are gone and is washed into the ocean, they will come out and create a new society based on sila, based on the real sila, the pancha sila at least. Then, because no one's killing anymore, no one's stealing, no sexual misconduct, no bad speech, no lying, no drug addiction, no toys, no games, no videos, nothing. People only do good and help each other, build a new world. So every 100 years, the life expectancy changes by 1 year. Which way this time? Up. And it just keeps going. Everyone remembers the evil. Everyone remembers the hell. Everyone remembers that 10 years old life cycle. So everyone doesn't want to do evil. We keep going. All the way until the life cycle reaches 1 million years old each. So we're going to live forever. And then guess what happens when you hit 1 million? We're bored. We're so bored. Life is so boring. So what do? Somebody's like, well, no one's told a lie in 6 billion years. I'm gonna lie. I get mad at someone and I'm gonna kill somebody. The first murder in 6 billion years. Well, if one person does it, well, how come he did it and nothing happened? Well, then I'm gonna do it too. So now people start having fun, start killing, start stealing, sexual misconduct. It's really fun. And life starts getting worse now. Then every 100 years, life drops 1. So from 1 million, it's 999,999 years. Then another 100 years, 999,998. Then all the way back down to 10. Then clean house, then back up again. This is our forever. It's been like this forever, and it will never stop. So will the earth get destroyed? Yes. Will it rebuild itself? Yes. That's just the way it works. However, this doesn't matter. Because here's why I'm telling you this. The next Buddha is not going to come until the life cycle hits 40,000. Okay? So watch this. Who's good at math? Watch this. Right now, we started at 100 with our Buddha. After he died, today we're at 75. So in how many more years will we hit 10? 75 minus 10 times 100. So in 6,500 years, we will reach ultimate evil, right? Then give it another 1,000 years for cleaning, maybe. So let's just call it 7,000, let's call 500, so 7,000 years. Then, how about the cycle up to 1 million? So 1 million times 100 is what? So 100 million. So forget the 7,000. 1 million years at least. Then from 1 million down to 40,000 is how much? It's a lot. So here's what I'm asking you. So let's just call it 2 million years. So from today until around 2 million years or a little less is the time the next Buddha will come. Right? Can you, and we all are lazy. Really lazy. So our Buddha already came, our dad is already born, and he died. He gave us the inheritance, and we do his job, his business a little bit, but not a lot. And now he said, you know what? I'm too lazy. I'm going to wait for the next dad, and he's going to save me. Right? We're going to wait for the next Buddha. Okay, wait for the next Buddha. But here's the catch. You have to make sure you're born a human. And you have to make sure you're born not in the wrong country. So if you're born in Africa, you're born in Europe, you're born in Canada, you're done. You're not born in India or the area around India, you're done. You're born deformed, you're born mentally retarded, you're born and you're put in jail, you don't have a chance. You're born and you're like a sex slave, you're a slave, you lost your chance. What if you're not even born, but you're a dog, you're a cat, you're a mouse? You lost your chance. Or you're not even born. You're in hell. Because you killed someone, you raped somebody, you stole from someone, you had a affair with somebody, and so now you're in hell, like Tewatada. He's in hell for 1 million lives. When the next Buddha comes, he'll still be in hell. 100 Buddhas come, he'll still be in hell. So my question to you is it worth the risk? You have to wait 2 million more years for the next Buddha, and you don't even know if you're going to get it. For example, where do you think you were when he was alive? 2,500 years ago, what were you? Were you even human? And you missed it. You missed his teachings. He didn't save you because you chose to be something else. So now you come back again. So it's been 2,500 years. Let's say human lifetime is 100. You came back 25 times already at least. And you're still not enlightened yet. What are you waiting for? Should you wait for the next Buddha? Or should you do it now? And that's what we're trying to say to you is on the day of the Vesak, we celebrate the Buddha. We give the Buddha flowers. We give the Buddha candles. But what the best thing to give the Buddha is patibata. You have to practice Buddhism. You have to make yourself free. Free your mind. Free your soul. If you can do that, that's the best flowers, the best gift you can give the Buddha. So today is the Buddha's birthday. Do you have a gift to give the Buddha yet? Do you have a present for the Buddha? He doesn't want flowers, he can't see it. He doesn't need candles, he doesn't smell it. He doesn't even need water, he doesn't have a body, he doesn't need to drink. What he wants is his children to graduate school. Have you graduated yet? Have you done what you need to do yet? If you have, then your Father is proud. If you haven't and you're not dead, you can still do it now. So today on the birthday of the Buddha, make sure you get him a present. And if you don't get the present today, you still have next year because you're not going to die. Ever.